pray. Lord Jesus, thank you so much for these women. My heart is warm this morning as I look out and see so many precious faces. Lord, I'm excited. I'm excited because you know how much I've prayed for this. And every woman that's here today, Lord, is here because of prayer. I ask that you bless this time together. Guide us and direct us. And dear Lord, I pray that your will be done in each of our lives and in ministry. We ask it in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
For the last 3 years, I have been taking part in a program called Creating a Culture of Spiritual Renewal. It's taught by Rebecca Simon Peter. It's considered continuing ed for me as a pastor. Part of the overall purpose of the class is to empower us as leaders, to empower our laity. And we are to carry forth words of God to other people. I'm in my last year. Nikki just finished this course last year, so she can say if I'm doing this right. We are crafting. I have crafted a vision of where I feel like God's calling me to do. Can you turn me down just a little? I feel like I'm echoing. I feel like that God has called me to a place in this church and in this community. And we are in now the process of partaking and sharing that vision with each of you. It started last year when I invited a group of women from the church to come and let's see what we can do for women's ministry beyond what we're doing. The UMW has done a wonderful job in its service, in its outreach, in its mission. And we want to continue to support those women in that movement. But there's still a lot of women we're not meeting their needs. They're not coming, they're not active, or they're coming to church, but they're not involved in other programs in the church. And so I invited about 20 women to come and hear my plan of making a bigger women's ministry for our church. Of that 20, there were 10 women who said, yes, I want to be a part of that. That organization is called Faith Keepers. For 2 months, we worked on a vision, what we believed we as a group wanted to support. The original vision was this: a safe, caring community of Casper women who nurture and empower each other's mind, body, and soul through the love of Christ. That's a big statement. And so Rebecca helped me this year to say, okay, let's take that powerful vision and let's bring it down a notch to make it something shorter that we can remember and something concrete and specific that we can do for women. That revised statement is women mentor, nurture, and empower each other with Christ's love. I have a goal. As I told people this last few weeks, inviting them to come, I have a big reveal for you this morning. My vision is that we take 1,200 women and have them go through a mentoring program. 1,200 women in a mentoring program. That's my dream. That's my dream for this church. This is a vision fulfilled, that statement. It's specific, 1,200 women. It's measurable, 1,200 women. It's actionable. There's specific things that can be done to accomplish it. I want to do it through a mentoring program. It's realistic. Yes, it is realistic. with God's help, because I believe in God of miracles. And I believe we have the faith, the skills, the resources, and time here in this church to make it work. It's touching. I believe that if we mentor women in a spiritual way, it's going to help them grow spiritually. And it's going to help us to have a positive impact on our congregation and on the community. Everything about my vision is based on Scripture. Jesus affirmed women. Jesus recognized women's value and worth. He had women in support of his ministry. How many of y'all remember that wonderful story of Martha and Mary sitting at the feet of Jesus? He was mentoring Mary. Women were the very first persons to see Jesus after the resurrection. We were the ones to go tell the disciples. The disciples were shaking in their boots and afraid. The women went out. Glory. Okay. Also in the Old Testament, women were empowered by God and esteemed by God. Esther, Deborah, Ruth are some of the examples that I thought of. Well, let me tell you why me. Why? You're sitting here going, why are you talking about this? Well, I'm going to tell you some things today that I've never told to the congregation. Some have heard a little bits of it, but there's others I don't think you're aware of. I grew up in a very dysfunctional family. My mother had very broken mental problems, emotional problems, very dysfunctional. I grew up with an extremely low self-esteem. At the tender age of 13 and 14, the thought of me doing what I'm doing today, I would have said, there's no way. There's no way. The self-esteem was so low. I was bullied in school. When I was going into my senior year in high school, I considered suicide. I was very close to suicide, and a friend talked me down from it. Fortunately, I had one woman that I could trust, that I could go to and share with. Her name was Mrs. Sprayberry. She was my 7th grade teacher. After I left 7th grade, I would continue to go see her, even while I was in high school. After school, I'd drop by her classroom and we would talk. She always had time for me. She affirmed me. She encouraged me with my studies. She built up my self-esteem. She told me about God. She was a member of my church, and she pointed me to Jesus. Mercy triumphed over me. In my freshman year of college, I became a Christian. The night that I became a Christian, I also received my call to ministry. At that time, God set me free of heartache, of loneliness. I can't tell you how lonely I was. Disappointment. How changed my relationship with God, because I discovered that Jesus loved me, warts and all. He accepted me. He healed my brokenness and helped me become a faithful follower of Christ. Then, my senior year in college, I met Mrs. Jean Bishop, and she completely changed my life. She became my mentor, not just in those early days, but for 30 years. She supported me. She encouraged me. When I came to her and said, Miss Bishop, I think God's calling me into ministry. This was at a time when women were not in ministry. My parents' view was, marry a preacher, Mary. You don't need to be a preacher. You know? Nobody understood me. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? You don't know? Okay. But she said, yes, you have a calling. You have a calling. seminary. Should I turn it off?
Let me go get a hand mic.
Okay, anyway, so after I had this relationship with Miss Bishop, I went to seminary, I became a preacher. And over these years, I have mentored women. I started off before I went to seminary, the first person I ever mentored was a young high school student. And it gave me hope and it gave me confidence. And that young woman today is a missionary full-time. I've worked with other women over the years in different churches. In each of those experiences, I have grown. So, why should we be involved in this as the church? I believe we're called to minister to the women in our congregation and outside these walls. Why have a woman-to-woman ministry? Why do we need this? We've got other programs, we've got Bible studies, we've got Sisters Bible Study, we've got other activities, we've got wonderful UMW programs. Why do we need something one-on-one? Y'all, we understand each other. We understand those tears. We understand those times when we don't think we can put one foot in front of the other because of children. I'm going to try to... It's on. Okay.
Not out upstairs yet.
It would be, we understand when there's marital problems. We understand when we're lonely and we wish we had a date. We understand each other. We are in the midst of a Me Too movement. We can't help but see that in the news regularly. Many of us can relate to the Me Too movement. I can. I was sexually harassed when I first started the ministry by my vice chair. We need to affirm each other and support each other because we are important to God. So what am I saying? Let me tell you what it looks like. I'm asking for an 8-week commitment. An 8-week commitment to a mentoring relationship. This will involve meeting weekly. First, as a mentor, you would meet with me beginning in January for an 8-week Bible study. Some of y'all heard of this devotion, Jesus Calling? Some of y'all know Jesus Calling? The author of Jesus Calling has written a Bible study called God's Presence. It's a short 8-week Bible study. We will have her devotion and we'll study a passage of Scripture. We'll ask that y'all pray for each other. To pray. It is the source of encouragement. Let me make this clear. You're not going to be doing counseling. I'm not asking you to do an in-depth counseling session. Nor am I asking you to become a Stephen minister. Those are two Bible ministries, but that's not what this is all about. This is you working one-on-one with another woman or a youth and helping them grow in their faith. It's not about us, y'all. It's not going to mean that we have all the answers. That we expect you to have that seminary degree under your belt before you teach Bible study. You're going to grow with that other woman. You're both going to learn together the Scriptures and what God is trying to teach us. Where are you going to meet? Well, Starbucks. I know some of y'all love Starbucks. Go to Starbucks and meet. Meet at Metro. Meet at McDonald's. If you want to meet here at the church, we can arrange for that. Meet in your home. Meet in their home. If the weather is decent, meet outside. Meet in the park. To be honest, if you're a successful mentor, you're going to be willing to be vulnerable, transparent, flexible, honest. As a mentee, you're going to be willing to be attentive and accountable to your mentor. And hopefully, even finish the study, you will have a friend, a lifelong friend. So what are the results? What am I asking, what I'm believing for? Is at the end of that 8-week period, your mentee will then invite somebody else to do this same Bible study. It's what they call an evangelism, each one reach one. Each one reach one. So, comments, questions. We want to, let me tell you the goal. The goal of what we want to happen is that we minister to the needs of our women. That we equip each other to grow toward spiritual maturity. If we spend time in God's Word in the next 8 weeks, we can grow spiritually. We can equip women to serve other women. We can encourage outreach. The training starts on January the 5th. That's the first Saturday in January. And we're going to meet at 9:30. 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock to 10:30. The location will be determined after we see how many people sign up. But it'll be January the 5th at 9 o'clock to 10:30. At the end, this is for those who want to be a mentor. At the end of that time, we will talk together about things that we need to know to be a mentor to someone. So who are we going to mentor? Hopefully it's going to be somebody that signs up, but it could be your very best friend. It could be your daughter. It could be your neighbor. It could be a senior high youth. Be somebody that you sit right by in Sunday school or in Bible study. We're having a winter retreat in February the 2nd, and Janet and I will be talking about this program then, and hopefully we'll have some people to sign up. But one thing I'm telling every person who signs up to be a mentor is to pray. Pray that God will lead you to that person. Because it's better if you start with somebody you know. Someone you know. It could be your neighbor or your best friend. So, questions. Questions about how this might work, or comments? It could be 2-on-1. Exactly. There may be, you have 2 daughters and you want to involve both of them in it. Or it could be 2 friends. And so it could be, definitely could be 3-on-1. I know that it says in the scriptures, the older woman is to mentor the younger woman. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful encouragement. But the way I see it, though, is that we are working heart to heart, each one growing together, that not one person has all the answers. You might be older than your mentee, and you might be able to share some things that you learned to help them. But I'm going to pick on Elaine. Say I was working with Elaine. Elaine can help me also understand her generation, because my son is almost 30, and she can help me to know what I can do to reach my son better. So do you see that? Each of us has value. Each of us can contribute to the program. Okay? Yeah, Diane?
So the January 5th, and I understand, starts the 8-week kind of learning program, how to be a mentor.
How to be a mentor, and you will be introduced to the Bible study.
Okay. And then after that 8-week program, we start with mentoring someone based upon that
Same Bible study.
For those 8 weeks.
And then after you finish that, your job is done.
Okay.
And you will encourage your mentee to go out and invite somebody else.
Okay.
So we're asking basically for a 4-month commitment. 2 months to go through the training, and then 2 months with your mentee, and then you're done.
Okay.
Unless you want to do it some more. As a mentor, you may find that you really enjoyed it, and you want to be able to do it with somebody else. Yeah, Rhonda. I'm sorry? I'm gonna order them. I will take care of all of that. After I get a head count today, then I will order, and the books are $7.
Okay, that's what we just through the measuring program.
Well, no, I'm gonna be given instruction on the mentoring part.
Okay.
The book is just strictly the Bible study. Rhonda, did you have a question?
So what is it that you hope the outcome is at the end of 4 months?
I'm hoping that,
It's just,
well, I'm hoping that it's gonna keep multiplying. Because I'm also talking to Vital Network Monday night to see if they would like to be a part of this program. I'm also going to talk to the director of the women's shelter to see if some of their women would like to be a part of it. I'm hoping to talk to some people in the community from other churches to see if they would like to be a part of it. Because I see it as being a community event that we sponsor, but it involves, that's why I'm saying it's important that y'all think about, praying about who you want to mentor. It could be somebody that's not a member of this church. Yeah, Bobby.
So, I already heard her talk about this earlier, so I want to tell you guys what I took away the first time she talked. She said something earlier, that she said, we are not necessarily knowing all the answers for the person that we're working with. We're not counseling them through stuff, but we're being there and learning together. And so, the way I looked at it was, I don't know everything, and I know I have a lot to learn, and maybe I want to be the mentee, but maybe just working with another person, I can grow at the same time as the person that I'm working with. And so learning together and building that relationship can help you learn something as well as, helping them and then empowering them to go forward and be that leader for the next person that they come in contact with.
exactly.
And today, when we do the sign-up sheet, you're not signing up to be a mentor or a mentee, that you want more information. And what I would like to do is talk to each of you individually who is interested in this program to find out where you feel like you would like to be. Because not every one of you may want to be a mentor. Some of you may want to be a mentee. And like what was mentioned in our previous meeting, if you want to be a mentee, that class would not start until March. If your plate is full and you're saying, I don't know if I want to be the lead, I want to just be a mentee, you can do that. Not every one of y'all will feel called to be a mentor right now. Any questions? Other questions? We all are quiet. I was expecting a bunch. Well, I'm going to send out sign-up sheets. And you can go. If y'all would do that. And we're looking at January the 5th. So we're going to get past Christmas. Yeah.
What if, okay, like if I know that we're going to be on a couple weeks in the middle of that,
We'll do that when we're there.
Then wait and perhaps you sign up to be a mentee. Because that doesn't start till March.
but what if I'm on be gone? We're in that phase in
I know.
our lives.
I know, we want to be gone. All I can do is say to go ahead and sign up if you're interested, Lori, and then we will see if we can plug you in at some point.
Well, the mentee program, you guys set up your times to meet with your
Men-
mentor.
Yeah, y'all will decide. Y'all may not, you and your mentee or mentor may not want to do it on a Saturday morning. You may have time during the week. I'm just offering the training on Saturday morning for women who work. Yeah.
I don't want to go down a rabbit
No, this is strictly Bible study. Where Receiving Ministry, as you know, Ronna, is offering a caring relationship, listening to people who are in crisis. This is strictly doing Bible study with another woman.
So what you're saying.
The goal is spiritual growth.
Okay, because I didn't really hear that this mentoring is supposed to have a pretty strong faith-based piece.
Yes, that's what that Bible study does. And we're not, but Receiving Ministry, we're meeting a different need. The whole goal for this is for us to grow spiritually. And it could be, Don, I'm going to throw this out to you and Rita and Wanda. Y'all may decide to do this as a circle. You could do it that way. You could do it in a circle setting and then encourage those women to share it. Anything else? Oh, yes, ma'am. You can, that's a good point. That's a good point. And I think that's valid. If you feel like that you don't have the time to be a mentor right now, but want to take the class, I hadn't talked to Janet yet, but I had even wondered if this would be a good pre-Lenten study and open it up to. And it's like something that Sisters might want to do on Wednesday nights. So, you know, I think we can be flexible. We can be flexible with it. And it may be after you finish the study, you may think, hey, I know my next door neighbor. She might be interested in just doing the study with me. You know, you may not think about it now, but after you've completed the study. And I really, really encourage, I'm glad Rochelle came today, because I really see our senior high girls, if they would be willing to commit to it, Rochelle, I think it would be a wonderful growth experience for them. Like I said, the very first person I ever mentored was a senior high girl. And now she's a missionary. Other concerns or questions? Okay, well, don't leave until you've had a chance to fill the sheet out, and I'm going to close with prayer. Oh, yes, Lori.
Before you do, would you just mention that Faith Keepers does not have to do the...
Faith Keepers does not have to do this.
No. Does not have to do the coffee hour in November.
Okay. Faith Keepers, I didn't even think to mention that this morning in our meeting. Thank you, Lauren. If you're in Faith Keepers, we don't have refreshments in November. So, because it's in the paper and we don't have it. Thank you, Lauren. Okay. Well, let me close this prayer and thank y'all for coming out this morning. Lord Jesus, thank you so much for these women. Thank you that they were willing to take time out of their schedules to come down here to church. We ask your blessings on them as they leave and be with their families and loved ones. And dear Lord, we ask your blessings on this program. We pray that you would guide us and direct us, and that, Lord, we want your will to be done, but we're believing for those 1,200 women and believing their lives will be changed and touched. And we ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.